Legend of Total War here, and today we'll be doing another Legendary Difficulty First 20 Turn Guide. This time I'll be covering the Sisters of Twilight on Mortal Empires. Now, if you were interested in their first 20 turns for the Vortex campaign, right after this video, because it's going to be a premiere, I'll be covering a campaign from scratch on the Vortex campaign as the Sisters of Twilight. So this will just be for Mortal Empires here. So with that being said, let's jump in now and get started on the first turn. Okay, so here we are on a turn 1 Legendary Difficulty Mortal Empires campaign as the Sisters of Twilight. Their faction name is the Heralds of Ariel, but I'll just be referring to them as the Sisters of Twilight. Anyway, so we only have two factions that really border us to begin with here. We've got the neutral Exiles of Nehek. Now, you could get a non-aggression pact with them early, but I'm not going to. And over here, we've got the Bleak Holds. Now, this is actually a really interesting situation because you start off at war with somebody who's already in a lot of wars. However, because of anti-player bias, they're probably going to focus on you. But you only really need to worry about these three settlements here because Elithanar is going to capture this one here. So very soon, you will border Elithanar. It's highly advisable that we become friends with him. There's no need to fight him, and fighting him could be an absolute pain. Now, you also start off with the Oak of Ages. So over here, what we could do on turn 1 is immediately get a non-aggression pact with Talcin. If you don't do it on turn 1, relations will start to deteriorate just because it naturally does. And as you get bigger, the longer you leave this, the harder it will be to get without some sort of other diplomatic thing that you might want to do. Anyway, just get it for free with that. The other two that you've met, I don't recommend getting a non-aggression pact with them because they'll ask for money. And honestly, you need to spend that money elsewhere at the start. You don't really start off rich with the Wood Elves, so it's very unlikely that they're going to declare war on you. The whole point of the non-aggression pact is really just to improve relationship. Not that you'll be able to get a trade agreement because your capital is the Witchwood, and getting a trade route all the way to Athel-Loren is going to be pretty not feasible to begin with. Anyway, let's now focus on sort of like our 7-turn plan of defeating the Bleak Holds. Now, ideally, we're actually going to turn the Temple of Adioth into a sack city, at least for a little while. But what we're going to do to begin with is capture it.
When do we fight?
Now, I'm not going to attach the hero into the army, because I'm not going to keep that hero long term, because it's a Beast Wizard. And Beast Magic is the worst law of magic in the game. I'd much prefer either Light or Shadow. So I'll just send it off as a scout until we've got access for another wizard. No point leveling it up here. So we're going to fight this battle manually. Not that we need to. You could get away with an auto-resolve, but you will take way more damage than you would if you fight it manually, so I'm just going to fight it manually.
Harmony shall reign.
So this first battle here is a good opportunity for you to get to experience the Sisters of Twilight, get a hang of them. So they're primarily an archer unit, but they're actually decent in melee as well. And the multi-shot is kind of reminiscent of the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. It's not actually artillery damage, just keep that in mind. But they shoot multiple missiles with this. So yeah, you can do the single shot, which is good against large. Multi-shot, good against bunches of infantry.
Hunting my foe. Sent by Orion.
And they can fire while moving as well, so if you want to dodge missiles, it's totally fine.
Seizing the position. With me, sister.
And just aim for the biggest clumps of infantry, because it's actually really inaccurate.
Lighting the path. Nature calls us. No alternative.
Also, these ones are Hawk Riders within the within this faction, the Heralds of Ariel. They've all got Talon of Kurnos, which is like really powerful on Hawk Riders because multiple shots. So Hawk Riders within the Heralds of Ariel are actually really good. It's largely just because of the what's it called, Volley of Kurnos.
Sisters of Twilight.
There we go, easy battle.
Will triumph once more. They
So,
cannot
occupy the
remain a
heathland.
threat.
Like I said, we have no intention of actually keeping this, so you can repair this if you absolutely want to, but I'm not going to. Now, if we want to, we can build this, and this is primarily to give ourselves a few extra troops. If you want to fight the battle manually that's going to happen when they come back over here, having a few extra troops, like you're going to lose it, probably, but I guess it's up to you if you want to do it. It's only 500 gold. I'm going to build this because that'll give us some more troops here. And I'll do the best I can at fighting them, just to whittle them down a little bit.
When do we fight?
Only when necessary.
Now, as for the wizard here, we're going to use that as a scout so that we can see what they're up to. Can't see them this turn, but they should be standing there, and they should be making their way towards Vol's Anvil. Now, we can't recruit anything this turn unless you want to recruit by global, which I don't. And over on the Witchwood, we don't have enough money to build everything that we need. I'm going to build an improvement of our income, because we don't start off with a lot, which is going to mean that this is just going to... We'll just have to wait a little while before we get that. Now, as for this one here, I'm going to get rid of it, because we've only got 3 build slots for like the next 9 turns, and I'm just not going to make use of that building at all. I will probably rebuild it later, but right now, no. So then it just comes down to Nehek. Do we want to do anything with them? No. We've also now met these guys, but I'd rather not get involved with them. They'll probably declare war on us at some point, but I'd just ignore them for now. We want to just focus on Bleak's Hold. And that's all we want to do this turn. Okay, so what we want to be doing on turn 2 is just
What would you have of me?
just a little bit, just go over here, just to see what they're doing. That's all we want to see. And then swing around over here and search this ruin.
Would think this wise.
And the answer to this is that one. Cool, enchanted shield. I'm not going to equip it on the sisters because next turn they're going to get a whole bunch of items from Daith, which are going to be better than what we just got there anyway. Then we're going to come down over here and recruit some Glade Guard. And what we want to know over the next turn is whether or not they stay here at Hag Hall, which is the worst case scenario, or if they force march over to Vol's Anvil, which is the best case scenario. Hopefully in this situation for us, the worst case scenario actually happens so that I can actually show you how to deal with it. But the best case scenario would be if they came up this way and try to attack Temple of Adioth, because we've set them up to fail over there. Okay, now the big question as to whether or not we've got it on hard mode or easy mode. We've got the hard mode. Now, okay, so yeah, this is going to be the difficult situation to deal with, not the easy one. That's fine, that probably makes for a better guide. Alright, so we just got a whole bunch of items from Daith. Equip them now, and we'll be able to use them over the next turn. Actually, that'll be pretty useful. I'll grab that. Okay, then what we want to do here, because they're determined to just sit there, we're going to stand here and recruit. Yeah, just one turn's... Yeah, just one's fine. Now, you could also stand here in ambush stance. That could work as well. But it would be better for us if they come over here and attack us now, because they're probably going to just sit there over this next turn as well. And if we besiege that with all of them in there, they'll sally out. And that's just a lot to deal with, which you can win. But it would be a lot better for them if they came out over here. Sorry, better for us if they did that. Yep, so this is exactly what we wanted to have happen. By fighting them here, it means that we don't have to fight them in addition to their garrison. This is going to be a much easier battle. Now, even though it says the balance of power isn't great, it's really not that difficult to battle, so don't panic. If you just follow what I'm going to do, it should be quite easy. So what we want to do here is hide all of our infantry over here. Our cavalry. Yep. And put the eagle over here. Just have it out of the way. We are going to thin them out significantly using the Hawk Riders and the Sisters of Twilight. Make sure we put her weapon over to the Talent of Dusk, because that is really good anti-infantry. Because that's what we want to prioritize killing first. As for them, just move them to the back of this area here. Because if we put what's visible over this side, it's very unlikely they're going to go and come scouting for us.
With pleasure.
And the game basically completely underrates just how much damage or the actual value of the Sisters of Twilight. They're a really good unit on turn 1. Okay, since they're clumped up over there, we want to get a Talon of Kurnos in there right away.
Sisters of Twilight. Lighting the path. Hunting my foes.
Yeah, they are really quite viable now, but only really as the Sisters of Twilight, because they only get that ability with this faction. But that's really good.
Nature calls us.
So, it would be much better to shoot into here, but the problem here is
Harmony.
you can't really tell her to shoot a specific target and also move. It just doesn't really listen to you very much.
Aerial shows the way. Hunting my foes.
Because it's not a very accurate
Seizing the
weapon,
position.
so it's best used against big clumps.
Guardians
Also, don't
of
worry too
light.
much if you take a lot of damage. If we hit 20% health,
With me, sister.
there's a 30-second ability that'll tick in and give us a whole bunch extra health. So it'll be fine. I don't really want to be aiming for their cavalry over here, but they keep putting them out front. I want to keep maneuvering around to get at their infantry. Now, I don't necessarily recommend using Talon of Dawn against their cavalry either. That's more for using up against big monsters. Yeah, it still does a decent amount of damage. Alright, taking a little bit of damage with them. Let's just move them back a little bit. Primarily want to be focusing on that ability. They've already done a ton of damage, but we need to do more.
Guided by the wind. Lighting the
Don't want to be
path.
aiming for that.
Moving as one.
But they're putting their single entities out front, and I can't tell her to move and shoot specific targets. See? Didn't work. So all we can do is try to maneuver ourselves around so she's not aiming at crap targets. Another volley of Kurnos is ready. Now we're not going to be able to beat the entire army with what we've got here,
Bringing harmony.
but the whole point of it is to thin them out by such an extent that it'll be quite easy for the rest of our forces to handle them. If you just set up a line and go straight for it right at the start,
Sisters of Twilight.
you could still win, but you'll probably end up taking excessive amounts of damage and not be able to actually capture the city. So we need to make sure we're in good enough shape to do that.
Harmony. Guided by the wind. Aerial shows the way.
Tons of damage being done to them.
No alternative. With me, sister.
So yeah, that's the problem. I wanted them to shoot it here, but because I gave them a move order, she just shot at the thing that was closest. Okay, now we got a bit of a problem coming in over here, and that's fine. This is to be expected. We can't hide the eagle, and we definitely don't want to withdraw it. So, we don't want it getting shot, and it probably won't come out on top in that engagement there. So now I have to pay attention to it a bit more. Let's take her off fire at will now for a bit. If we use all 3 of our units here, we should actually be able to break these 2. Could also bring out our Great Stag Knights. But, okay, yeah, the Dark Shard's isolated, go for it. Alright, we can resume shooting here. So basically, what we really want to be doing is using up all of our ammo first with the Sisters of Twilight so that we can then use them in melee. Because they're way more powerful of an archer than they are in melee. But we'll need them in melee because we are outpowered here. 134 kills is not too bad, considering that she's also damaged their units by a ton. And they should all be somewhat tired. It's now time to bring them out and make our stand. They're unlikely to come charging into melee until they've used up all their ammo, which they haven't.
And dusk.
Since they don't fire from all directions while moving, have the Eagle just harass them a little bit so that they don't shoot at us. It's fine, have the Eternal Guard tank their shots because they got shields while we rip them to shreds. Once we've gotten rid of their Dark Riders repeated crossbows, we can send the Great Stag Knights to go around to basically go and flank them. Okay, Murderous Prowess kicked in now. Would have been better if we had kicked it in earlier. This is why it would have been better if we had targeted more of their infantry, but the problem is they just kept putting their cavalry right in front of us. Alright, time for you to go around and have them harass at the missile units. This is why we wanted to use up all their ammo first.
Wild Riders.
Just doing a little bit of harassment here, nothing major. Don't want to be taking too many casualties. Alright, Sisters have taken a fair bit of damage now. It would actually be better if that ability could trigger. Let me see. So we got to get her below 20% health, which would be about 800 health. It doesn't matter. There's the army loss penalty. She's not going to take any more damage this turn. And then we definitely want our Great Stag Knights to run down as many of them as possible.
Sisters of Twilight!
Strength in mercy.
Then we get to do this, which will give us extra physical resistance for the next 3 turns. It's pretty useful. Could go with extra replenishment instead, which will give us more troops for the upcoming battle. But our archers are in good shape, so we don't need to do that. It's up to you which one you want to do. I'm going to go with Naestra's Grace, because money is useful. Now, we've got this other part of their faction mechanic, which is every 2 turns after the Sisters of Twilight win a battle, you can activate the Forge of Death, where he'll upgrade one of the items he's already given you. So, okay, with this, we can get a permanent upgrade that goes from, like, green to blue, and then eventually from blue to purple. Or we can go straight to purple, but it will only last 5 turns. But the purple one obviously is a lot better. But in this case here, I'm just going to go with that one. So we can do that again in 2 turns, provided we win a battle 2 turns from now, which we should be able to do. Okay. Get another level up. I'm going to go with Growth of the Forest.
Serene Nestra.
Tempestuous Arahan.
And then we're going to do Besiege Hag Hall.
The forest's vengeance.
Now, it says the balance of power is pretty bad, but I really wouldn't worry about that. I don't think they'll sally out, but if they do, I'm pretty confident we'll win. In this case here, I think it's a good idea to attach the wizard, just for that extra balance of power. We don't actually want them to sally out, so if we can prevent that, that would be great. Good, they didn't sally out. They didn't even move out of force march stance. And the thing about Hag Hall, even don't worry about the balance of power here that much, okay? As long as it's not like right the way down here, we really should be fine. And the reason for that is because this is the easiest settlement type in the game to defeat. It's the one with a huge weakness right over here, which is why we wanted to get as many archers as possible. We basically can't lose this as long as you don't walk right in front of their towers. You should be fine. Doesn't matter about the magic. Just move up to about there.
It is destined.
And just try to avoid their towers as much as possible. Which we got shot a little bit, but it's fine. Okay, what we want to do first, while they're fairly concentrated, and they stop manning that tower after a while anyway.
Quickly now.
What we want to do here first is the Volley of Kurnos, because that's best used against a bunch of units. So before they get thinned out, let's use it. Okay, and you come over here. She's really good in this position as well. This is what I was saying. You do not need to worry about this battle. It's just about getting to this battle. That's what it's really all about. And there we go. Took the city with minimal casualties. Like I said, we didn't need to worry about it too much. We could have really handled more of them in here. Because it's just a matter of patience, that's all. So we're going to occupy it. And that has pretty much defeated the Bleak Hold. So that was the most difficult way of dealing with them. It depends on what they do. If they had force marched up through this way and captured the Temple of Adioth, it would have taken longer for us to defeat them, but it would have been a lot easier. Okay, so that's the initial difficulty pretty much dealt with, but we've now got other things that we need to start preparing for. Now, at around turn 6 or 7, there's going to be a forest encounter that'll occur around here, which will be a Skaven ambush. It is ideal to deal with that immediately and be ready for it, basically. Now, our initial army here should be enough to deal with it if it happens, if we get to it right away. But if you let it get out of control, the army will get a lot stronger. So what we want to do at Hag Hall here is build this. This will allow us to actually recruit some more Glade Guard. Now, I could have built that over here to begin with, in order to recruit now, but it's not that important, and we don't have that much money, and there's just more important things to do. As for leveling her up, I'm trying to get her towards Lightning Strike and Quartermaster. We really do need to be reducing upkeep costs because the Wood Elf economy is very bad. The Sisters of Twilight faction is stronger than the original Wood Elf factions currently, like by a significant amount, but money will still be an issue, so you should really try to reduce those upkeep costs regardless of what difficulty you're playing on. Now, I don't intend to keep this one forever, but for the time being, having a bit of extra magic in the army will be useful. As for the technologies, I am trying to work towards getting to Kadai first. This seems to be the most useful. Even though we start off close to the Dark Elves, getting the extra relations with the Dark Elves, it's probably not going to be enough to make them not declare war on you anyway. It's up to you which way you want to go with. I'd much rather ally and be friends with the High Elves than the Dark Elves, to be honest. I think they're a bit more reliable. So there's going to be a rebellion here as well, which is totally fine.
We speak as one, and the forest speaks through us.
Alright, Elithanar wants to play ball, and I agree. Okay, so Elithanar's come up this way. Normally, but prior to this update, before the Sisters of Twilight were around, he would now be putting the smackdown on Bleakhold. But now that we've already done that, he doesn't really have anything to do. What's most likely going to happen is he's going to occupy Ice Rock Gorge. We could cockblock him and capture that instead. We could have recruited a Lord and had them do that next turn, this turn as well. But I don't believe that that is worth the cost involved in doing it. Now, there's a bit of a weird thing going on where I think the Sisters of Twilight can colonize these ruins with just a Lord for 2,500 gold, but the original Wood Elves still cost 7,500 to do it. Another reason why those factions are still not really quite updated. They're actually weaker than they were before, like significantly. Anyway, so what we're going to do here is fight this battle. Yeah, we're going to get rid of them.
When do we fight?
Only when necessary.
And we're going to fight this manually so that we can get 2 battles out of them. Alright, so easy battle there, no problem. A little bit of damage, no big deal though. We're going to go with this. Start getting that physical resistance stacking for as long as possible.
Spreading harmony.
Once again, we can use the Forge of Death. This time upgrading the Eagle Bow, which I'm going to go with the safe option. Luckily it upgrades it straight away so it doesn't require re-equipping. Now, do we have enough movement to get to here? No. That's probably for the best because next turn the event is going to occur over here. But my biggest concern is that Elithanar might be wanting to head over there to capture Falls Anvil. If he does that, it's totally fine. What we're going to do here is finish off the Dark Elf Rebels here, because I'm not necessarily looking to revolt farm at this stage.
Finally a fight! We fight for the forest.
Make it quick.
Make them scream.
Seeking purity.
I'm going to stand over here. I'm not going to force march back to Hag Hall because we want to actually recruit this turn. Alright, so a forest encounter has occurred over here. Well, we could go and take Vol's Anvil. We definitely want to deal with this as early as possible. Now, the way that we want to handle this is make sure that we angle this correctly, right? Go around this way here. Hang on. Like this. And then move at them in this direction like this. Right? The reason why we're doing that is because we're going to fight this battle manually. If you auto-resolve it, which we probably can, it'll just wipe them out. But if we fight it manually, the army that pops up over here will still exist and will retreat over to here, allowing us to attack it again and moving us in the direction of Vol's Anvil, allowing us to move over there and turn it into a sack city. But we have to keep an eye on Olithanar. His army's damaged, but it's not going to be that damaged for long. He'll still want to make his way over to Vol's Anvil. Also, they are building up their forces again, but they're not going to be able to beat us. So, we got really unlucky with this. That is a really strong Skaven army. Okay? But that's okay, because we've actually had time to prepare. Unlike what I did with Talson. But anyway, this isn't going to be that big of a problem. So just straight up, going for the Plague Claw Catapult. Keep an eye on this if they clump up too much. Yeah, go for the Warplock Jezzails with that. But yeah, we've got to get rid of the Plague Claw Catapult. Which could be the sacrificing of the Great Stag Knights. Well, good, we totally wrecked them. They didn't do amazing. Let's get them out of there. Yeah, tier 5 unit. You know, like I said, just not the greatest unit ever. This is fine over here. Yep, Eagle chase that away. As long as they don't get back on the Eagle Claw bolt throwers, everything will be fine. Yeah, I definitely don't want it shooting at the Mutant Rat Ogre. In that case there, it's much better to use the Talon of Dawn. But still, she's much better anti-infantry than she is anti-single entity.
With me, sister.
Pretty good. Alright, we need to move up, because the Jezzails are outranging us. Alright, they're getting back on the Plague Claw catapults. We have to stop that. Luckily all their other units are a little bit too busy now to worry about their Plague Claw catapults. Sharp Mutant Rat Ogre coming around the side here. And that motherfucker can hit like a truck, so we need to stop him. Okay, I think there's the army losses. Nope, it's not quite. No, it just shattered. Okay, good, it's dead. We don't have to deal with that again. And there's the army losses.
Harmony, warfare.
We should definitely run down as many of them as we can.
Strength in mercy.
Still gonna go with that money.
Of the glades.
Sent by the Mage Queen.
Alright, well we don't have enough movement now to catch up to them, but they're not going to get any stronger, and they'll pretty much just sit there. They might come and attack us, they might not. If they do, great. If they don't, whatever. We want to make sure, this turn here, that we stand up within the zone of control of Hag Hall, because next turn I want to hit Vol's Anvil. They're probably recruiting more or less basic units there, so it really shouldn't be that big of a deal dealing with them. And we'll pick up a few more archers. Now you could sit inside Hag Hall, but this just gives us a little bit more movement to play around with next turn. The public order is fine, so we don't need to do that. It would give us a little bit of extra replenishment. Up to you if you want to do that, because otherwise you only have just enough movement to actually reach Vol's Anvil, and these guys here are kind of blocking the way anyway. Actually, now that I think about it, they could potentially ambush us.
So bored. So impatient.
Awaiting.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Even if they do ambush us, they're too weak to do anything about it.
The unbridled glory of battle.
We've now got enough money to upgrade the Oak of Ages. Ooh, 5 turns to do that. Very expensive. But this will give us some Confederation options, so let's do that, actually. That'll be fine, I think. Yeah, so they weren't able to ambush us, but there's always a possibility that they will ambush you. I'm still going to fight this manually again, because if we do that, they won't get wiped out, whereas if we auto-resolve it, they'll definitely get wiped out. And we really need to be focusing as much as possible on leveling up the Sisters of Twilight. The only thing in this battle here that concerns me is the Plague Claw Catapult, and I think we can get rid of them fairly early.
Harmony shall reign.
So yeah, easy win there. Most of their army's been destroyed now, so it's basically just one battle left for them, but extra experience for us. Right, so at this point here, Elithanar is standing right next to us. It's pretty obvious what he wants to do. He wants to get to Vol's Anvil. He's probably going to occupy it. His army is still damaged, so you need to make a judgment call whether or not you actually want him to go ahead and try and possibly fail. If he does fail, then you've got yourself a sack city for a little while, because it'll be a little while before they recruit another army. But there's a possibility he'll succeed, in which case you'll get nothing. It is important to occupy this if you want to get the health of the forest up quickly, which it definitely looks like we can do. So what I'm going to do here is a safe option. I'm going to get rid of this Skaven army and do this myself, and just let Elithanar now go bother with something else.
Attack.
Absolutely.
We have other options for sack cities anyway.
Battle. A regrettable necessity.
Looking for a fight.
So we got 3 battles out of that. That's good. We've also got the Forge of Daith. We should probably do that. Doesn't matter if we do it at the beginning of the turn or the end of the turn. So that's definitely really good. I'll only get that for 5 turns, but the campaign movement range and the extra growth all provinces, that's actually really going to be useful for me right now. And it'll just revert back to its green, which it's currently at the moment. So I'm actually going to go with Arahan here.
I love it.
She will break it
Itching for
immediately.
fresh battle.
So yeah, we'll get that for 5 turns. And yeah, we'll just be able to make use of the extra growth faction-wide for that. So that's actually pretty handy.
Sisters of Twilight.
Alright. Okay, I can see what we can do here. Alright, so what we'll do,
Harmony has
attack Vol's Anvil. Now, I think in this situation here, it would be best if we don't actually finish off this army here, so that it attacks us over the end turn, because this is their last settlement. And that'll allow us to get another victory, because we really do need Lightning Strike for the next phase of what we need to be doing.
we fight for
But
the
there's
forest.
nothing in this that looks concerning.
Harmony shall reign.
Alright, this, I reckon if we can get around the side here and use the volley of Kurnos from there, that'll be really powerful.
Sisters of Twilight. Dawn and dusk. Aerial show.
Alright, what I want to do here is send the Eagle to go and fight their other wizard. Death Wizard. Because we don't want to kill her, but we want to do some damage to her. It also might force some of their units to go back that way to try to save her. I have no intention of killing her, I just want to threaten her.
Destra and Arahan.
Right into a big cluster of them there. Yeah, shooting from the flank works really well with that. Good, this is exactly what we want to see. Their missile units are lagging behind. This will give us a good opportunity to get rid of their melee units without harassment.
Sent by Orion.
Man, is it gonna win? I don't actually want to kill her though.
Sisters of Twilight.
Okay, look, it's broken. Let it go. Don't kill it.
Hand of the forest. Guided by the wind.
Okay, and we want to do feign charges up in here. I said feign charges.
Hunting my
Just to
foe.
delay them a little bit here and there.
Awaiting order.
Okay, now bring that one out.
My bow!
Just to give them something to aim for so they don't go over to our infantry. So, once again, I'm just feigning a charge here.
Sister! Glorious!
Master! Captain! At once!
Still came back, but whatever.
War is
Heavily delayed, she's not coming back. She's not going to make it to here, I mean.
Fight as one!
Yeah, we've crushed them. They've lost their entire melee infantry line. All they've got is archers, and we have archer superiority now. So yeah, we have the option now to turn it into a sack city, but Alithanar will definitely take it, so we should occupy it.
Fools cower.
I don't think he's going to be able to reach that wizard, and that was exactly what I wanted. And I don't think we're going to get a revolt here. So he'll probably... Look, I don't know what he's going to do. He might come over here. I just don't know. We'll see. Could just go home. There's nothing else to gain here for him. Alright. Good. Lightning strike's what we needed. The next thing we'll be going for is the quartermaster to reduce those upkeep costs. Because we're not making a lot of cash. It's not too bad at the moment. But things could be better. And at Vol's Anvil, I'm going to build this so that we can reduce construction costs over at the Witchwood.
Order is all.
And I'm also going to get rid of the Eternal Guard now, because they are not as good as Glade Guard.
Sisters of Twilight.
Just don't need them. I'll still keep the Great Stag Knights just because we can afford them, and it could be good to have a unit to run troops down, but you don't need them. If you really want a penny pinch, it's totally fine. So at this point here, what I'm aiming for is actually to turn Katep into a sack city. Now, we could get a trade agreement, and he could be quite friendly, but he's only got one city. Nobody's going to care if I pound down on him, and he's owning a heathland. Yeah, be fine. Now, once these have been recruited, I want to demolish this building here and build another one of these just to really put in as much growth. I mean, that's providing growth, but as much, like, reduce the construction cost here as much as possible because it is quite expensive. Alright. So that's all good. That's not a heathland. Alright, and let's move on. Alright, so I'm going to once again fight this battle manually, because if we auto-resolve it, the eagle will probably die because it's so badly damaged. But we want this army to survive so we can once again fight it, because we need that experience. It's more important now than expansion.
We should kill them now, Nestra. Oh.
Alright, so these beastmen just declared war on us, whatever. Okay, with the declaration of war of these Shadow Gore Warherd, the location of it is actually quite useful for us, because we could potentially speak to Exiles of the Heck, get them to join war against them, and just sort it out for us. In addition to that, it should weaken him a little bit, because he's our next target. So that could work doubly so for us. And it's also time to get rid of Bleak Holds. So auto-resolve will be sufficient here this time.
Onward, together.
Now the next thing is we could have just enough movement, largely thanks to the fact that we've got this one, just enough movement to actually get over here in time. Now, it's most likely that Katep will actually just wipe them out straight away, so we really don't need to worry about that. But at the same time, Katep will be in a weakened state, so we want to fight him straight away before he recovers. So he's already got this plane of spiders up to tier 3 as well. Okay, then got some leveling up to do. Alright, so we could, there's a number of things here that we could do. We could reduce our upkeep costs a little bit, which would be good. We could give ourselves a little bit of missile and weapon strength, which not too bad. Challenge to death is okay if you want to, have these last a little bit longer and also get his forge going off more often. So that's something that could help. That's only 1 point. Should we do that? I feel like I'll wait until the next level up or so to do that. Let's see. Spirit of the Hunter. That's useful. That's useful as well. There's a lot of things here that are useful, but I'm going to go with Rain of Spines because we want our army to be as strong as possible going forward here. And as for this one here, Transformation of Cardon actually spawns an eagle, not a manticore. Now, I think that's specifically for Wood Elves. I'm fairly sure that Beastmen summon a manticore. Alright, now, at the Temple of Adioth, we can recruit another lord. Now, that brings me to another point, which I haven't done at this point yet in the campaign, just because it's a little bit expensive to do this. But, with the DLC, if you get it, you'll be able to recruit Spellweavers. Now, if you don't get the DLC, and you're playing as the old Wood Elf guys over here, they will not be able to recruit Spellweaver lords. Now, the great thing about Spellweaver lords is that sometimes they'll get the trait Knowledgeable, which means you can recruit them and then disband them and still get all the benefit of the extra Winds of Magic power reserve faction-wide. So, the Wood Elves now could potentially be the highest Winds of Magic faction, largely because there are so many lords in here that you have a high chance of actually rolling a knowledgeable trait every single turn. Whereas, for example, the vampire counts, they have a knowledgeable lord, but it's only one necromancer, and there's only one law of magic that they can be recruited from. Where, you know, you've got plenty here. If there was one extra lord, you'd pretty much have a 100% chance of occurring it for knowledgeable. But anyway, we're going to recruit the Spellweaver of Dark, put her in there. So yeah, with these officers. Now, the officers for the Sisters of Twilight, I think, are way better than that of Taliesin. Talisin's ones are rubbish, absolute crap. Even if the what's it called, the Wild Hunt is active, they're still pretty much all crap. But these ones are okay. So the High Weaver one, reducing reducing miscast base chance, all armies faction wide, global bonuses. That's what you want to see with these officers. Dark Weaver provides Winds of Magic power reserve, plus 15, all armies faction wide. So that's like 3 knowledgeable wizards right there. The thing is, you can't put a high wizard in there. I have to put a dark wizard. I believe you can put a shadow wizard in there as well, but they're not going to get the benefit of the extra powers of darkness. Then another one to note is the Tree Singer of Life. The passive ability Regeneration for Dryad, Treekin, and Treeman unit, specifically for Treeman unit, that is so powerful. And if you're thinking, yeah, but it makes them weak against fire. Yeah, but the thing is, if you just get yourself one amber, you can grab this, and you can basically just make that go away. So, trust me, that's very, very powerful, and I'd much rather have regen at the cost of a bit of fire resistance.
I weave the living forest.
So we're going to put 2 points into Blade Wind, and I reckon that Ketep will just eliminate them. Now, next turn, if we don't have to deal with them, we'll want to make sure that we're ready to deal with Ketep, so I'm going to need a few extra troops. But I'll also switch out this Dark Wizard for a Tree Man, because they're way better in this particular situation here. Or maybe I'll switch out for one of Life. That way I'll be able to heal single entities. Well, we'll see how we go. Let's just jump into this and we'll see. Okay, so the Shadow Gore Warherd was successfully destroyed by Ketep, so he really helped us out there. And the great thing is he's been weakened because of it as well. So now we can attack him. You might think, oh, that's a bit ungrateful. I don't care. You know, that's his own fault for getting involved. He didn't have to. So what we want to do here is probably switch out this Dark Weaver for a Tree Lord. I'm going to go with the Annoyance of Netlings. And I believe we can put this dude in the Tree Singer of Isha. We can put him in any ones of these. But I'm just seeing what's going to be useful for us. Yeah, definitely go with the Tree Singer of Isha. And we're going to declare war on Ketep. And this will be our sack city for the next few turns.
This is a thin joke.
There will be blood.
We fight for the forest.
Now, don't be discouraged by the balance of power there.
This This is the life.
Could also hire some Regiment of Renown, but I don't think it's necessary. Our finances are a little bit iffy, but again, don't worry about that.
It will be okay.
Now, this area here is a choke point battle, which I think is going to favor our army over theirs.
Harmony shall reign.
Finally, a fight.
Another thing I think we should do is not control the large army. This will deny their garrison reinforcements, but also deny our guys. So they'll be coming in at around the same time. What I reckon is we'll send in the Great Eagle just in the early stage of the battle, and then pull it out fairly early. Problem is it'll miss out with healing, but I'd much rather give it to the Sisters of Twilight. Anyway, what I could also do is take out this wizard from the army, so that he can come in straight away. But I do actually want to make use of her, so I'm not going to do that. So yeah, don't control a large army. Even though the forces against us, I think we have a tactical advantage here. They've also got this, which does give them a bit of a boost of bounce of power, but they never use it right, so I wouldn't worry about it. Can't see where they're going to deploy, but we've got to move fast.
With haste.
Moving as one.
As brave riders.
So I don't really care that much if the eagle does die.
Sisters
I just
of Twilight.
kind of would prefer if it doesn't.
Pleasure. Nature calls us. Your orders.
Alright, send her in there. You, eagle, go deal with the carrion.
Armed and ready.
Adre Mage.
Actually, that'd be an okay place for that. And just, yeah, keep them locked down while we deal with this.
Deepwood cavalry.
I might actually have you come around over this way. There was more over here than I thought there was going to be. And you need to get away from that. Okay, just withdraw. You're not winning there. You're gonna need to get it. Yeah, they because they still haven't fixed that. Yeah, you get off the battlefield. Alright, they're bringing in reinforcements now as well. Alright, Ushabti's about to come down.
Swiftly. Now. Swiftly.
Alright, turn around. Shoot that.
With me, sister. To battle.
How about you go sort out these carrion?
The season of war.
Good. All I wanted her to was to just annoy them as much as possible, and she's totally doing that. Okay, Treebeard's come in. Good. It'll be a little while before he gets here, though.
Guardians of Lauren.
Alright. That's just a wizard, not a big deal. Let's move up over here.
It will be done.
We need to start shooting over it this way. I keep disrupting him. Oh, whatever.
Sisters
Right,
of
why don't you
Twilight.
go sort out that wizard?
For Apple Lauren.
Yours command.
And let's summon a eagle
I will.
just to tie them down. Now, a lot of our units are actually facing the wrong way, so we need to get them to shoot at stuff. It's not the best location to be in right now. Oh, oh, that's fine. That's fine. That should be really cheap for him. Yeah, it is. Yeah, he'll be fine then.
For Lady Ariel.
Sisters of Twilight.
All right, looks like we got rid of the wizard.
Glorious.
Ever ready. At speed. Deepwood archers. Glade guard.
Okay, probably be a good idea to shoot the Haro Titan. And let's make sure it doesn't get over here.
Riders ready.
So I'm just going to feign charge at it. Get it to stop moving, turn around. Probably going to get hit there.
Bringing harmony.
But it didn't get to our archers.
Awaiting orders.
It looks like we got this.
My bow hungers.
Yeah, they still haven't fixed that bug.
For Apple Lauren.
They introduced that bug. They used the Tomb Swarm on top of themselves. They've been doing that ever since Warden and the Paunch. And when I had early access to Warden and the Paunch, I told them about that, sent them a replay, and they haven't fixed it.
Sisters of Twilight.
This is a bug that was introduced into the game. Like, they didn't used to do that yet. They actually used to do it on your own troops. They don't do it anymore.
One.
Alright, I think the worst of it in this area is over. Let's go send her over here. That way she can pick up some healing from the Tree Singer of Isha.
They cannot
And now we
remain
have a
threat.
sack city. Which is really good for activating the Forge of Death constantly, since we don't have anything else to do. We can take out Exiles of Nehek at any time now. They have basically finished, but this is a great opportunity to level them up. Alright, we don't need you anymore, but I also don't really need the Great Stag Knights anymore either, so just think, how stingy do I want to be? I don't want to keep the Spellslinger of Beasts long term, but it is better to have some magic as opposed to nothing. We've also reached tier 2 here, so we can start building this one to actually recruit a Tree Singer of Life. But it's entirely up to you what you want to do with that kind of stuff. You don't have to disband it. All of these at least have some experience. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the Great Eagle now. I don't feel like I need it. And it is more expensive than the other ones. Definitely want to keep the Hawk Riders. The Great Stag Knights, while they're good fighters, right? They're just also super expensive. And I feel like money would be more useful. You don't have to do this. Our finances can survive with them. But I think their usefulness has now passed.
The Sisters of Twilight.
So bring you over here. Transfer these two. Hang on. Transfer these two in here. And you've been very useful. I'll see you later. Now, if we have a look here as well, what other... Okay, we got a disciplined one, so no knowledgeable there. If we want, we could recruit and disband some of these wizards. They'll still live, and that'll give us a chance to get some more knowledgeable ones. But since we're at turn 10, next turn they should be getting rid of, like these ones here, because they've been around for 10 turns, so that's going to happen anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it right now. So I'd say at this point here, the difficult part of the guide is over, where we should be swimming, and now it comes down to RNG. So let's do this, because it would be good if these lasted longer. Alright, Perfected Twilight Horn, or Reforged Twilight Horn. Honestly, I'm just going to go with the Perfected one.
Home to perfection.
Yeah, that's fine.
Serene
Why
Nestor.
grant Nestra tools of
Tempestuous
war?
Arahan.
Everything's fine over here. Don't need to repair that. You know what? We don't even need to tax this. I don't know why I've been taxing it. It doesn't really matter. That revolt that happened over here was actually quite useful. Okay, and over here. Right, we don't need this anymore, because we're at a full stack, and I don't foresee us losing any units anytime soon. Let's get rid of this one here, so that I can build this one to reduce construction costs in here. Because, yeah, that is helping. Because the public order here is increasing the construction costs. And we've also got one kindred. So, we could build the Roots of Gyran, so that we could get a Spellslinger of Life, which would be better than Beasts. Or Shadows, which again, better than Beasts. It's entirely up to you what you want to get. I'm going to go with that as a building. The other one that we could get is this, if I had any money left, which I don't. We could probably get some money in diplomacy, but I think we're okay at the moment. And as we sack this, we'll now start to reduce our upkeep costs, so we'll get more money with each passing turn. So yeah. And now we're also just gaining some pretty rapid passive growth. We'll also, as we keep sacking it, keep getting even more growth, because battles and raising would provide more growth, more health, than if we just occupied it. And since, like I said, we don't have anything else to do. Apart from those beastmen are out there somewhere, and these guys are at war with them as well. And since we're sandwiched in between our settlement here and their settlement there, those beastmen won't be able to find us. We won't be able to get us straight away. And like I said, I have no idea where they are. Let's move on. Alright, so that's come down, and we can now choose a new item to get from Daith. Now, last time I played this campaign, all of these items were absolute shit. But let's have a look. Let's go with a new weapon. Yes. Fucking rubbish.
When do we fight?
Only when necessary.
Yeah, I mean, it can be improved with this every 2 turns, but yeah, that item is rubbish.
Twin defenders of the glades.
It will be a glorious battle.
And like I said, we've just got ourselves a sack city
They
over
must
here.
know disorder.
While we're just waiting for numbers to tick up, basically. But it's still useful, we need to level up.
Once more.
So the next few turns are largely just going to be determined on RNG. We just have to react to whatever happens around us. And if something important happens, we'll just finish off Exiles of Nehek and then go and deal with it. Whatever it might be. But in the meantime, yeah, we just sack those cities. So over here, we want to build this, which will give growth and reduce construction cost. Over here, building this is quite useful because while you're sitting in the Witchwood, it's good to have reduced upkeep cost. I mean, we're not going to get that effect right now. And anything else that we could get here, I mean, we could get a Waystalker, but since the Talons of Kurnos no longer boost the entire army, it's not that useful. We could also get a Glade Captain, which will give us campaign movement range, so that is also quite useful. And since I don't intend to sit around here doing nothing, I'm probably leaning towards actually going for the Glade Captain here. Just rushing towards Kadai. Okay, so we've been given a mission now to confederate Widruoth. We have to fight 3 battles against Greenskins. Now, there's no Greenskins anywhere around here. If we come up here, I think there's the Broken Jane, sorry. But I don't want to travel all the way over there to do that. And there's a new forest encounter over here, which is going to weaken the Oak of Ages. I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. Let's just focus in the Witchwood area here, because we're succeeding quite rapidly here. Let's just keep that up.
Nestra.
So once again, just going to sack the city.
Attack. Harmony shall reign.
Make these fools cower.
And let's see what we get from Daith this turn. So this was the item that we just got. And if we were to get it to its max level, that would give us... I mean, we only get that for... We get it for 7 turns now. Like... I just don't see it as being very, very good. It's just not really a great item.
I want one
So going into ambush stance here, just because we want to get the trait Ambusher. Because that'll give us resistance for ambushes, which would be really useful when we've got archers. But also higher increased chance of ambushing. And let's reduce those upkeep costs. Good. Alright, and we should have access... Oh, look at this, we got a knowledgeable one there. Honestly, Ariel's Chosen is also pretty good. Gives us melee attack during forest battles. Probably not going to fight that many forest battles. But knowledgeable, that's good. I'm going to grab that.
How may I help?
And we still have to wait another turn before we can get a captain. But now that we've got another wizard, I'm done with this beast wizard. And let's have a look at lords. So no knowledgeable ones have shown up just yet. And I don't feel like recruiting and disbanding. We don't need to do that anyway.
When do we fight?
My powers.
Get them over there. And Glade Captains. Let's see, what do we get? We got Talons of Kurnos. Doesn't provide a boost to the entire army anymore. And then Ariel's Chosen. I think we got pretty lucky with those abilities there. What did we also get for this? Ariel's Chosen. We could put 2 Spell Slingers in there, that's fine. But Hero's upkeep has increased a fair bit, so I might just chill on that for a bit. And I'm going to go with Ariel's Chosen, because Winds of Magic Power Reserve is good. Right, that'll mean we need to disband one of these archers. I'd probably lean towards just a regular Glade Guard. Having one archer with fire attack could be useful. So right now, things are pretty comfortable, and this is just the right time for something to go wrong. So I think it's important to be aware of our surroundings. While it's good to just have a sack city here leveling her up, it's also important to note that something's going on over here. There's a lot of chaos corruption happening, indicating that maybe there's a beastman faction coming through here. So if we have a look at them, they're not at war with any beastmen, but we are, the Ripperhorn tribe. So if they're close by, we should probably deal with them. They're not that strong. I feel like we can deal with them, but you know, I'm currently busy. So what I want to do, I want to send the Spellslinger of Life over here. And I'm still going to sack this turn.
Defenders of the glades. We fight for the forest. They cannot remain a threat. Duty. Adventure.
And force march them over here. If there's a character standing right there, there is no way they're going to be able to catch us from this distance.
Spreading harmony.
Then another thing over here. If they do come here, what would be the best thing for dealing with them? Probably the Tree Singer of Isha. Also another thing, there's another knowledgeable wizard there. So we've got a bit of money, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to recruit this knowledgeable wizard, put her in there, and then I'm just going to immediately kick her out for the Ancient Treeman here. Because he's a way better fighter, if they were to come down this way. So we're in the negative, which isn't good, but we've got a point here. That's why it's so important to reduce those upkeep costs. And, you know, 100 extra gold coming in from that.
Glory to the hunter god.
So you come over here to come and assist as well. Now, it would be great if they could show up sooner rather than later, because we also need to get back over here to keep smacking them down. Now, it'll take more than a full stack of whatever they can recruit to be able to beat me. They're only going to be able to get skeletons. They're pretty much defeated. We don't really need to worry about them. But this is what we need to focus on now. So you, why don't you pop it in there, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, and let's just see how things go. I would have liked to have been in a better position than this. If only I had prepared a turn earlier. But this isn't that bad. At least we're close by. If they win, which, like, that's strong, but I don't know. I've got a plan. They're gonna fall back over to here, and then they're gonna catch them. So it'll be a pretty bittersweet victory for them if this army here ends up dying. I'm really glad I put this guy in here, even though he's probably gonna die. I know what he can do. So here's what I'm thinking. We stand together here and use Awakening of the Wood. It only costs 3 winds of magic for us, and in a big blob situation, it can do a ton of damage. The biggest problem's going to be leadership. I just don't expect them to hold out that long. Yeah. Alright, give me some more wins. Also, by being in the woods, we'll generate wins. Oh, come on. Seriously? Okay. By being in the woods, we'll generate more winds of magic. All of our units are hidden at the moment, so maybe it would be good if they don't detect us right away. Or even better still, if we could waste the ammo of their archers. They don't seem to care that much at all. Because even though the treeman is pretty well armored, I don't want them to get shot. And yeah, this will just buy us a little bit of time to generate some magic to begin with. Because Ranald wants to be a prick! If I can get them to shoot their own troops as well, that'd be good. Okay. There's a decent blob going on around there. Yeah, it's not a lot of damage, but it was only 3 winds of magic. And then they're hidden again. Okay. Okay. Is it possible we can win this? Close enough. Like, it's not that powerful, but if we do it enough times, we've got a lot of winds of magic, and they are just not going for us over there, which is perfect. Fully detected our units, not going for it for some reason. Alright, now they are. Okay. Alright, well at least all those archers have been spent. Alright, you come over here, because that way it'll provide a little bit of extra... Oh, fear doesn't stack, but just come over here so that they feel a little bit more confident. You don't have to come and fight. Can we win this? I don't know. We'll see. It's all going to come down to how much leadership... Oh, I forgot to turn them off. Alright, well.
Fire when ready! We never miss!
They might actually... they've given away the position. Good job.
Our
Oops.
fires are yours!
That's okay. That's okay.
Immediately! With haste! Fire when ready! Ready for battle! Hurry!
Just don't rout on me, Dryads. You're going to get surrounded. You're just going to have to put up with it. Now he's starting to get some good kills. And we'll come in here and shoot them into their flanks.
Children of Isha, attack! For the eternal realm! Blade guard! Quickly!
That's it. Just, like I said, just they're so low on leadership. Look at that big blob over there. That's what you want to see. Alright, shoot into that. You guys move in over here as well, because that is a delicious looking blob. If some of their units can start routing, it'll give us a little bit more leadership. Oh, yeah, you go kill the general there. You should do that as well.
Blade guard!
Are we gonna win this? Did this fucking stupid plan actually work? We'll see. No way. No way. No way. Beastman again. Alright, Eagle, get rid of this.
Ready and able! Death to our enemies!
Yeah, no, you gotta get rid of that general. Kill him.
Blade riders! Deepward archers!
Alright, Dryads won't last forever, but it's honestly not that bad. Just keep them in the fight as long as possible, I think.
Ready to ride! Armed and ready!
No way.
Blade riders! Hunters!
It looks like we're winning. They just can't do any damage to the tree man.
Riders of
No way.
stand ready!
They're losing.
Those of Athelaric!
Come on, stupid eagle. Oh my god, I actually won. Holy shit.
My Kana!
Fucking welcome to Athelaric, you dumbass beastman shit. Holy crap.
Glory to the eternal realm!
Well, probably end up being a close victory. Oh, I probably shouldn't have finished him off that way. Yeah, run down as many of them as possible. Yeah, give me that money. Well, that was,
Itching for
I did not,
fresh
I was
battle.
preparing for a loss there. Okay, jeez, okay. I'm not complaining. Now, I don't want them to use up too much movement, but I can't really expect that he's going to be able to beat them all on his own. Especially because the garrison won't come out to help.
When do we fight?
He has leveled up.
Only when necessary.
Awakening of the Woods was really useful. And because he's the tree singer of Isha, reducing it by 1 winds of magic would make it even cheaper, bring it down to 2 winds. Wouldn't normally do that, but damn, that was good. Yeah, for next time.
Glade Captain reporting.
Alright. I want you to attach to him so you get experience in this coming fight.
No surrender.
Sister.
You come over to here.
Moving with
They can't
grace.
run away.
My powers will unearth great relics.
I don't think we need to fight this manually.
How I enjoyed that.
Ooh. Oh, we're okay. We're okay. And hopefully that eliminates the faction. It didn't. They're still out there. But they should be super weak now. So why don't we... What if I... Oh, they've got a non-aggression pact with Exiles of Nehek. That's interesting. And they're not going to care about any of that. Honestly, given the situation, I'm willing to pay 5 grand for it.
Gladly.
There we go. Okay. So, hopefully they sort that out for us. That was a very expensive situation there. I kind of want to have someone scout ahead. Well, how about you come out?
Glory to the hunter god.
And you scout ahead just a little bit. And I'll put you in ambush stance here. There they are. Okay. I'll keep them out of here. Pay 5 grand for them to kill 1 unit. But this one guy could run off, recruit a whole other army, and come back and annoy us. So let's just get rid of this fucking problem once and for all. And then... probably Earthblood for you. There's no way that that guy's going to beat him. And now... the sisters can make their way back over here and resume what we were doing originally. Yeah, it's currently a green, and this is good. So yeah, we'll do that again. This time it'll last 7 turns. That's a good one. Alright, so we got something coming in over here. I think sacrifice them would be better for us. Alright, I saw that it went further up north. I don't want to trespass on them. At least we can make it there. Yeah, we have to fight that one manually. But it's a super easy fight. Really, really easy.
Make these fools cower.
Okay.
The Sisters
And-
of Twilight.
Haste is
Just force
required.
march them there. Cool.
Glory to the
And then
hunter
this one
god.
will attach in there.
Itching
Should be fine. I
for
might have to fight the
fresh
first one
battle.
manually because she's quite badly damaged. That way we can give her some Earthbloods to heal. This is why I wanted Life Wizards. Alright, yeah. We need to put 5 points into this in order to get to here, which is super annoying. But I need that extra 8% reduced upkeep costs. This is too expensive. Go with that. You don't really need extra replenishment rate as what else. Their replenishment rate's pretty good. Alright. I really don't want to trespass on their territory. I saw them just go up north, but I don't know what's going to happen. I need to get rid of him just because this is too expensive. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Hopefully they sort it out. They either will or they won't. Alright, now let's get rid of this one here. Attach you. Hang on.
Twin defenders of the glade.
That'll be good to provide us with more
Glory
movement
to the
range.
hunter god.
And once they're on an eagle, they
No
can actually be quite
surrender.
useful as well. And being attached into the army now is reducing their
Craving
upkeep.
prey.
Now I have to fight this one here manually so that I can heal her.
Finally a fight. This is the life.
Sail upon us.
So yeah, I only got 2 Earthbloods down, but if I had auto-resolved that, it was a good chance that she'd actually get killed.
Make these fools cower.
Alright, what do we got? Perfected Eagle Bow or Reforged Eagle Bow? I think we'll just go with Perfected and just leave it at that.
Home to perfection.
Because it didn't
I
seem
want
like it
one
was that
too.
good to go Reforged.
Looking for a fight.
And then it will
How
go
I enjoyed
and
that.
get weaker after the 7 turns is up. Alright, good. More money coming in. So, I think that'd be more useful. Because it both provides 100 extra gold. But that provides more tradable resources. And it provides more growth. And provides a bit more public order. Alright, getting a new item from Daith. So, the first weapon he gave us was a piece of crap. I wonder if another weapon would be good. I'm not entirely sure. Like, in my other playthrough that I played of this, all of the items that I got through this, they were all pieces of crap. But, let's see. Talisman, what are you going to give us? Hey, that's not too bad. Hey, I don't mind that at all. I like that. Shit, that's way better than what I got in my other campaign. That one's pretty good.
When do we fight?
Only when necessary.
That's better than what I'm currently wearing. This is a piece of shit. Casualty replenishment rate, passive healing every 60 seconds. Not passive healing, active healing, I mean. That's fucking good. Yeah, forget that other trash. That's the first piece of item I've gotten from that was actually good. That was good.
Sisters of
Didn't get that in the other
Twilight.
campaign. Alright, so yeah, try to get that one. Alright, still looking at those Chaos Dicks. They're out there somewhere still, but let's have a look at their strength ranking. They haven't rebuilt. They're not going to come down here just yet. They're just out there hiding. I'm hoping Clark Aron sorts them out, but they could be in hidden encampment. Hard to say what's going to happen with that. I don't know. I'm not super concerned about them. They bring some greenskin armies down. Whatever. It's fine.
Twin defenders of the glades. Harmony shall reign.
Just keep the Sack City going. Basically, just keep an eye on things while we level up. It's all about. Just keep an eye on your borders. Bit of diplomacy. So, since we went up with High Elves, maybe, yeah, we can get some agreements with them. We really don't want any problems with High Elves. There's no reason at any point in this campaign to go to war with High Elves. You're not looking to conquer the whole map, and you can be most friendly with High Elves. Second only to Dark Elves, but Dark Elves are a bunch of assholes. You can't really trust them. High Elves are assholes, but they're like kind of reliable ones. Kind of. Except for Tyrion. You know, it's Tyrion. Alright, yep, reduce those upkeep costs. Okay, now we're making some okay cash. Because this is barely costing us anything. That's good. Getting some easy levels.
Will triumphs once more.
Cool. Public order problems over there won't last. Oh, actually will last a little while.
Harmony has prevailed.
That could actually cause a revolt. But it may or may not. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We've also got 10 grand. How much do we need to upgrade the Oak of Ages? I think it's 15. Yeah, 15. But we're getting there. We're getting there. If we keep this up, it'll only take 2 more turns, and then we'll be able to do it. Yeah, they're still out there. Clark Aron is just not really doing what they need to do to finish them off. But if we have a look here, they still just have no strength rating. So as long as you just keep an eye on it, like, we don't need to go rush over there. But the thing is, until those beastmen have been defeated, we cannot leave this area. Once they've been defeated, we could occupy the Plain of Spiders and then move somewhere. Anywhere we want. We could, if we wanted to, we could go down to Lustria. Where is it? It's over here to the Sacred Pools, currently owned by, I think that's Lizardman. We could go to, actually with the guy in Vale, an event will pop up where it just gets blown up. Teleport over there as soon as that happens, because you've got like 2 turns before they reoccupy it. Yeah, you definitely want to do that as soon as possible. But what you could do is, if you don't start anywhere near the Witchwood, just recruit a Lord and get over there. We're almost ready to go for the Ritual of Rebirth. So I'd probably, in this case here, wait until we were finished, got it to 100, do the Ritual of Rebirth, and then leave. And move on to the next one. That'd probably be best. But yeah, keep smacking them in the meantime, because it's like easy money, and we don't really have anywhere to go. If we occupied this right now, all I would do is go into the Witchwood and just sit there. That's all I would be able to do. Expanding out into Dark Elves, there's no value in that at all. You know, you might be able to get the odd resource, but it's like 50 gold. I mean, I know I could build this one over here, but that doesn't actually provide any resources. So 56 gold, whatever. It's just not that much. They definitely took a massive economic nerf. But anyway, that's 20 turns there. I think we're in a pretty solid state. So, just in quick summary, when coming down here dealing with bleak holds or whatever they're called, the easiest thing is if they go up that way. If they do force march up this way, you know, count your blessings because you got it the easy way. You basically turn Temple of Adioth into a sack city once they recapture it, and you get Hag Hall pretty easily. You can do that with basically the army that you start off with, as long as their army isn't also in there. The more likely scenario, I guess, is if they do stay in there, stand on the border, they'll attack you, beat them the way I did it, you shouldn't have too much problem, and then capture Hag Hall. And then everything else over here, you just have to really keep your eye on, especially those beastmen. Keep an eye on local and foreign chaos corruption. Keep an eye on when they're showing up. And if they do show up, hell, use those treatment strategies. That worked out really well. That was really strong. Anyway, that's the end of this one, guys. Don't forget, we're going to be starting the live stream now. And that'll be on the Vortex campaign, playing as the Sisters of Twilight. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I hope you find this guide useful for when you guys get your hands on the Sisters of Twilight on the 3rd of December. Appreciate you, and I'll see you next time, fuckers.